On the day of our divorce hearing, my cheating wife showed up with her lover, expecting to take everything from me. But she didn't expect me to have proof of her embezzlement from our joint account. Her lawyer looked panicked as I laid out everything in front of the judge. Chapter 1: Shadows of a Perfect Life. The house stood silent as twilight spilled through the floor-to-ceiling windows, painting the living room with an amber hue. It was a house of glass, both literally and figuratively, a sleek modern marvel with sharp lines and open spaces. Claire had chosen every detail: the gray sectional, the minimalist decor, and even the faint eucalyptus scent that lingered in the air. It was perfect. Too perfect. But perfection was often the best disguise for cracks. I sat at the dinner table, a plate of untouched steak in front of me, and watched Claire absently scroll through her phone. Her once vibrant brown eyes were dull, fixed on the screen with an intensity that excluded me. Long day. I ventured, breaking the silence. Her head snapped up, and for a moment her expression betrayed her surprise, followed by irritation masked too quickly. What? Oh yeah? Meetings all afternoon. I nodded, trying to suppress the unease gnawing at my chest. This was becoming routine. Claire, the woman I'd shared 10 years of my life with, was becoming a stranger? The once spontaneous laughter, the stolen kisses, the deep talks into the night, they had all faded, replaced by clipped responses and guarded glances. It started small. Late-night calls, she claimed, were work emergencies. A new wardrobe, she said, was for the office, and the scent of unfamiliar cologne lingering on her clothes. I ignored it at first, attributing it to stress or midlife restlessness. But then came the distance. The silence. The way she turned away from me in bed, her back a wall I couldn't climb. That night, as Claire excused herself to take yet another phone call in the bathroom, I stayed seated at the dinner table, staring at the half-empty wineglass she had abandoned. The warmth of the house felt cold, the air suffocating. Something wasn't right. Chapter 2: The First Thread Unravels. The truth came to me in the most mundane way. One evening, Claire left her phone on the kitchen counter. She never left her phone unattended. It was practically glued to her hand. The small device buzzed, a notification flashing across the screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight." My stomach twisted into a knot so tight, I could barely breathe. My hands trembled as I picked up the phone, my heart racing with a mixture of dread and guilt. It unlocked easily her birthday, a password I had always thought was a sweet nod to me, remembering the little things. But what I found wasn't sweet. The messages were explicit, raw, and undeniable proof of her betrayal. Photos of her and a man named James, plans for secret meetings, declarations of love that stung like acid. Each word felt like a knife slicing through me. The woman I had built my life with, who had shared my dreams and fears, was living a double life? I sat down, the phone clutched in my hand, the weight of the discovery pressing down on me. Anger burned in my chest, followed by a crushing wave of heartbreak. When Claire returned from the bathroom, I confronted her. "Who is James?" She froze, her hand stealing on the wineglass she had picked up. Slowly she set it down and met my gaze. "What are you talking about?" Her voice was calm, but her eyes darted, searching for an escape. "Don't lie to me, Claire," I said, my voice shaking. "I saw the messages. I know everything." For a moment the mask slipped. I saw the flash of panic, but it was quickly replaced by something worse: arrogance. "So you've been snooping through my phone now?" she said, her lips curling into a cold smile. "That's pathetic." Chapter 3: The Breaking Point. The days that followed were a masterclass in manipulation. Claire twisted the narrative, accusing me of being controlling, of invading her privacy. She didn't deny the affair outright. Instead, she minimized it, claiming it was just a mistake and none of my business. But her actions betrayed her words. She began coming home later, her phone always locked away, her excuses growing thinner. I felt like a ghost in my own home, wandering through rooms that echoed with memories of a life that no longer existed. The photos on the walls, the souvenirs from trips we'd taken, they mocked me, reminders of the illusion I had been living. Then came the divorce papers delivered to me at work. They were cold and clinical, demanding not only half of our assets, but also a significant portion of my business. Claire had already moved on. She didn't just want out, she wanted everything. I wanted to let it go, to walk away and leave the pain behind. But something inside me wouldn't let me. Chapter 4: Secrets Beneath the Surface. It was during a sleepless night that I found the first clue. The filing cabinet in our shared office had always been meticulously organized, thanks to Claire. But as I flipped through the financial records, I noticed discrepancies, transfers to accounts I didn't recognize, forged signatures, and unexplained withdrawals. She wasn't just cheating on me. She was stealing from me. I spent weeks piecing together the puzzle, poring over bank statements and emails. What I uncovered was more than infidelity, it was a carefully orchestrated betrayal. Claire had been embezzling money from our joint account for over a year, funneling it into secret accounts and using it to fund her lavish lifestyle with James. The realization filled me with a cold, vengeful fury. Chapter 5: The Courtroom Showdown. The day of the divorce hearing arrived with an overcast sky and a bitter chill in the air. Claire arrived with James at her side, her confidence radiating as she walked into the courtroom. Her lawyer, a polished man with a shark-like grin, greeted me with thinly veiled contempt. "You ready to settle, Mr. Carter?" "This will be quick." I said nothing, gripping the handle of my briefcase tightly. The hearing began with Claire's lawyer painting a picture of her as the victim, a devoted wife, wronged by a bitter, vengeful husband. He spoke of her sacrifices, her emotional pain, her dedication to our life together. Then it was my turn. "Your Honor," I said, standing and opening the briefcase. "I'd like to present evidence that not only disproves my wife's claims, but also reveals criminal activity on her part." The room fell silent as I laid out the documents, bank statements showing the transfers, emails proving the forgery, and evidence of her secret accounts. Claire's confident smirk disappeared. Her lawyer stammered, his composure cracking, as he tried to dismiss the evidence as irrelevant. But the judge wasn't buying it. "This is not just a case of marital discord," I said, my voice steady. "This is a case of embezzlement." Chapter 6: The Fall. The fallout was swift. Claire's employer, alerted to the scandal, launched an internal investigation that resulted in her termination. James too faced consequences as his involvement came to light, tarnishing his reputation and career. The media picked up the story, turning them into public pariahs. The people who had once envied Claire now whispered about her in disgust. One evening Claire called me. Her voice, once full of scorn, now cracked with desperation. "Please," she said. "Let's settle this quietly. Don't ruin me." I stayed silent for a moment, letting her words hang in the air. Then I spoke, my voice cold and measured. "You ruined yourself, Claire." Chapter 7: A New Beginning. The house I had once called home was sold, its memories too painful to keep. I moved to a small coastal town, trading the sterile, gray walls for the soothing sound of waves crashing against the shore. For the first time in months, I felt a sense of peace. The journey had been brutal, but it had stripped away the illusions and left me stronger. Standing on the beach one morning, watching the sun rise over the horizon, I thought about everything I had lost and gained. "Some betrayals," I whispered to the waves, "don't destroy us. They make us." With that I turned away from the past, ready to embrace the future. Epilogue: Justice served. Claire and James faded into obscurity, their lives left in shambles. As for me, I found solace in the life I rebuilt, a life free of lies and betrayal. The scars remained, but they were a reminder of my strength, a testament to the man I had become. Sometimes justice isn't pretty, but it's always worth it. Call to action. If you believe in reclaiming your power and fighting for justice, share this story and subscribe for more gripping tales of betrayal and revenge.